Hello. Am I talking? I guess I'm talking now. We are here at Haiko Bikes in Portishead and I'm getting a TT bike fit today. It's really cool actually. So far the fit has been completely based on us tinkering. So this is my baseline position. It's what I raced Ironman Portugal at this year. It's not too bad, but there's a lot of improvements to be made. This is Billy. He is the head of FTP race team, which I'm a part of for this season. He very kindly offered to run my bike fit for me at Haiko Cycles, which is a bike shop that partners with the women's team. So I'm incredibly grateful to be working with both of them this season.
Basically, your foot's just spinning the rest of the way down. They always work from the back anyway. Saddle's definitely not too high.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Once you get to there, do you know what I mean? You're in a good. Looking at you from where you are, it's going to be a case of these start rolling in, so your hands come together like that. Okay. They are together. Yeah, it's fine. The wind sort of comes across the top of it and straight onto your back, but we got loads to test, so that's fine.
It looks faster. It looks like I'm punching my way through rather than having like a bit of a
you look comfortable, whereas you can see everything sort of just on there. Do you know what I mean? So you definitely, like say, that a little bit more forward. The difference would be is how we go on your angles from there. So yes, you look where you are there, and your sort of angle on your hip to compare to where you are here. It's starting to really open it up. So that's the sort of. That's what we'll be after, the opening it up but closing everything goes up at the front, so then you've got easier to produce your power there, but then you're obviously not punching in such a big hole at the front.
We started off by moving my saddle forwards as Billy noticed that I was trying to move over my front wheel, so the saddle came forwards and then the next thing to do was to move the arm pads forwards as well. A focus for Billy was opening up my diaphragm area so that it was easier for me to breathe, and moving myself forwards over the front wheel did this. The next step was to lift my hands, only at a 30-degree angle, but it was important to close the gap between my hands and my head.
How does it feel from like the back and forward? So from like saddle.
So I can definitely feel my hamstrings working a bit more, which is good.
Yeah.
But it still feels comfy and strong.
Yeah.
Feels really relaxed through my stomach.
Yeah.
Which is good because that's how I like to breathe.
Yeah.
And then just like all of the tension that I had through my shoulders is just gone. The pads that came with my bike were quite flat and very short, so we looked at raising the angle of the pads so that it was easier to hit the ends of my bars, but also providing some security by having pads that had a bit of a higher sidewall. Once we had the position sorted, we needed to find a helmet that would perfectly close the gap between the back of my head and the top of my shoulders. We had a selection of 4 to try, and the one that we settled on was the Met helmet.
You often find this helmet is more like people can get away with a lot of stuff on this one.
Yeah.
So that's why it doesn't really work well for staff because head's in quite a good position.
So
it's one of those where if people move their heads around.
Bloody hair.
I'm going to cut all my hair off. This bike fit has in mind that I will be running a marathon as I get off the bike, so it's much more triathlon specific than being as aerodynamic as possible. We wanted to create a position that was comfortable as well as fast to give me the maximum benefits in Kona, but without risking any cramp when I get off the bike. Cool.
That's our sort of finish line for now. But I'd say, really focus on, like I say, dropping your head down, rolling it back. Just push the back of the helmet when you're in position. Let's say, just lift your. Actually, I'll do it for you. Just get yourself in a comfortable position. And it's definitely that helmet though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely that helmet.
This is just a bit of a comparison between my start position and then the position that I have ended up with. This is now my final position, and as you can see, it is much more aerodynamic. I'm creating a much smaller hole at the front end, and the gap is almost completely closed between my hands and my head and my shoulders. I just want to say an absolutely huge thank you once again to Billy, FTP Race Team, and also Haiko Cycles for all of their support on the day and ongoing for the rest of the season. I'll leave all of their details below if you want to find out any more about them. Please like, follow, subscribe for more of my journey on the way to the Ironman World Championships this October.